G'day punters, racing at Randwick on the Kensington track this Wednesday. We're currently on a good 4 surface. Weather is supposed to be fine, so should be a fair playing field for us on Wednesday, which is absolutely perfect. Warwick Farm on Monday, I only had one bet and unfortunately it got scratched. It was Master of Wine. It's in the nominations for Saturday, so we'll have to wait for it then. We'll take that as a win. We all collected and we'll get stuck into Wednesday at Randwick on the Kensington. I think the best bet of the day comes up in the last race. It is number 2, COTERIE from the Gerald Ryan stable. Nash is in the saddle, drawn a little bit awkwardly. There is a little bit of speed inside him, so he might be able to get a cart. He's began well in both of his trials. Last preparation, he was on the speed, so I think he can cross over, race on the speed, and prove too good for this lot. I think there's a little bit of overs about him. There's currently about $3.70. I think that is good value for a horse like this horse. He's been really well performed in only 12 race starts. He's had 2 wins. Last preparation, he didn't win a race, but first up, he ran 4th to Fiesta. Estijaab was the Golden Slipper winner and Mizzy ran 3rd. That was in a $1 million race. We've seen what those horses have gone on and done. This horse shows up here in a benchmark 70 first up. He looks really well placed. I think he's going to be really hard to beat. And then second up, last preparation, he ran 3rd to Archidemus, who's gone and run in Group 1 since. I think he ran 4th in the Group 1 Doomben Cup over the Queensland Carnival. And Star of the Seas, we saw him run 3rd in the Epsom on Saturday. So that's Group 1 form. This is a really nice horse. This is the right race to kick him off. Loved both of his trials. The first one was behind Foreign Territory. When Nash clicked him up there, he responded. And the second one was he split True Detective and Sesar. That's a really nice trial. Sesar was under the whip there. True Detective has some race fitness. This horse trialled equal to or better than those two, and I think he's going to be ready to win first up. I think he'll be well backed. I think he will start shorter than 2 to 1, and I think he is going to be super hard to beat. That's in the last race. So Randwick, Kenso, race 8, number 2, best bet of the day. I think the next best comes up at the opposite end of the program in the second race. This is a really interesting race. We've had Axe for Beyond Baker and Nash Rawiller trial really well. Down the bottom we had Zedrich trial really well prior to his first up effort. Then he came out and was gone before the corner, and then he's come back out and trialled really well again. We've had Down to Earth, who is one of Anthony Cummings. Not have much luck first up behind Still Single. Nash was in the saddle there. Well backed, and then we have the favourite who I'm going to tip, number 4, FARETTI. I think this horse is a very, very good horse in the making. In Riser, it only has him trialling twice, but he has actually trialled 3 times, so he is going to be ready to win first up. All of his trials have been absolutely perfect. In his last trial, he looked like a really good horse. When he was clicked up by Tim Clark, he really responded. I think he's a nice horse in the making. They started him at his first race start in the Group 2 Silver Slipper. He had genuine excuses that day. That was on a soft 7 surface. This horse is a $2 million colt, so Gay and Adrian won't want him to get beat again. I would suggest that he is going to be really wound up. He's already been in and scratched. I have him really hard to beat, and I think he will be winning first up. He's better than this lot. I think he's a group horse in the making. He's drawn barrier 1. Tim Clark was with him in the trials, and I think he will be winning on him on Wednesday. We're going to be taking short odds about him, $1.95, but he might be the one to have in the double with COTERIE. I would suggest take that price. $1.95 looks value to me. I think that with the spruik around this horse, he could start $1.65 come tomorrow. So he's going to be hard to beat, and that is in the second race. So race 2, number 4, FARETTI, is the next best bet of the day for me at Randwick on the Kensington track this Wednesday. The value bet comes up in the 7th race. I made her my best bet a few weeks ago, and she had absolutely no luck. That was behind Standout, who was seen come out and win in Saturday grade. She was 3 and 4 deep the entire. She hanged She still ran on nicely. She just never was really in the race, and it just wasn't run to suit her. She had big weight that day, and as I said, she travelled 3 and 4 deep and just didn't have any luck facing the breeze. First up, she was outstanding. Nash was in the saddle that day. That was at Kembla. She was held up on the fence. That was a fillies and mares maiden. She only got out for the last furlong, and she surged the line, showed a really nice turn of foot. She drew barrier 2 that day. She draws barrier 4. Tim Clark jumps on board. I think that is perfect for her, the draw that is. She will get the run of the race. I think she's going to be really hard to beat at about $7.50. I think she bounces back. Last start, she was $3.40 in a benchmark 64 with 58 kilos on her back. We're getting $7.50 about her in a benchmark 70. I think she ran well last start, with all things considered. She's got a few gear changes here. She gets the crossover noseband on for the first time and some earmuffs. That's enough to turn her around. Mark Newnham knows her, and he wouldn't be sending her back to the races if she wasn't right and ready to win again. So that's the value bet of the day for me. So Randwick on the Kensington track, race 7, number 12, Super Oasis, the value bet of the day. So I think if you're having a multi, let's multi up FARETTI, and we'll multi up COTERIE. Those two are going to be super hard to beat, and play Super Oasis as the value bet of the day in the 7th race. But that's it from me. We got big racing on Saturday. We got Group 1 Spring Champion Stakes, and the one I'm looking forward to, the Silver Eagle, because the Golden Eagle is going to be a cracker in Sydney in a few weeks' time. It's going to be a top-notch meeting. There's plenty of good racing outside those two. But if you are going to have a bet on Saturday or Wednesday for that matter, please do so responsibly. And as always from the Leg Up Australia, good luck and good punting.